So when I first got into this whole Glock clone thing, the Glock 19 in specific, initially my first, I would say, preferred Glock clone was the PSA Dagger. All right, this pistol is clear and this is how it looks. Very nice shoot. Also takes your Glock magazines, all the bells and whistles that the Glock clone should have, all that good stuff. Then Ruger did a collab with Magpul and they created this RXM. And had you asked me initially, after shooting this pistol, I would have told you this is my favorite Glock clone as of yet. As you guys can hear, we are in a safe and controlled environment. We are at the gun range, Immokalee Range and Gun Club to be exact, and this video is for educational purposes only. So after I did my RXM review, and still today, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you that the RXM is my favorite. But I was like, wait a minute, you really enjoyed the Dagger as well. And I was like, you know what? That's true. That's very, very true. But we are here today to find out who did it best. So far, um, after shooting the RXM, the PSA Dagger was the furthest thing on my mind. I wasn't even worried about that because it is, you know, what it. I enjoyed it just that much. All right, so there are some obvious differences between the two, but it's not super like to say, oh my God, yeah, that's a make or break situation within the two. Now, listen, both of these pistols have been fully reviewed on the channel. If you want the meat and potatoes of both of these, please make sure that you go back to the channel and check out those videos so that you can get that review. All right, so this is the PSA Dagger. This is the Glock 19 clone. And looking at first glance, you can obviously see that you have serrations in the front and the rear side. You have your one slot pick space underneath. You also have a C curvage trigger. Now that trigger to me was not the most attractive, or the trigger that I prefer. I like more of like that flatter face triggers is what it is that I enjoy. But with this one here, hey, you know, for the price point, you beggars really can't be choosers. You do have these do look like night sights on here, and you do have a very simple, small, flared, uh, it's not even flare on the back. It's just a little bit, it has a little bit of a lip down here at the front. Kind of like that magwell situation. You do have it's a little bit of a, how can I, uh, a valley here for your magazine changes. So for quicker magazine changes, you would just pretty much just pinch in that section. Now your magazine release, it's very sharp edge, very similar to the Glock 19 or the Glock style magazine releases. So that right there was pretty much very, very close. And the slide drop also a very not too pronounced. If it's too tight, I would definitely not be able to engage that with my thumb. But overall, the feel of it feels nice in the hand. It feels comfortable. It also feels familiar. So it's a very okay feeling. Now, your RXM, the grip on here took me to a totally different, how can I say, it was just love at first sight when I actually held this pistol. You do also have that slight little bit of a flared magwell there. You do have on this though, you do have your serrations on front and the back of the slide, but you have your co-witnessing height sights. And not only do you have co-witnessing height sights, it comes optic ready. So that was something that the PSA Dagger didn't have. This particular model, not saying that it does not come optic ready, but the RXM was optic ready straight out of the gate. You do have your one slot pick space underneath. You do have your flatter style trigger as well, and you also have your more pronounced slide drop as well as magazine release. So feeling this out just on all of the functions together, it really worked. And not only does it have that, but you also have a kind of like a landing zone here, or a we're gonna call it what a full gas pedal to where you can put your index and your thumb. That is, to me, that was really, really good. But either way it goes, they're both Glock clones for the 19 Gen 3 to be specific. As you can see here, you do have the one slot finger groove on that PSA Dagger, and you also have that one slot finger groove on the RXM. So it's the Gen 3 version of the pistols. Now both of these pistols do take Glock magazines, and today we are shooting Federal American Eagle 147 grain. So we got us some really, really hot stuff. We are going to run them and just see which one it is that I like the best. So I told you where we are. I told you what we're doing, and I told you the reason for this, right? It's for educational purposes. So the only thing left now to do is what? Suit them up so you can send them down range. So we shot the RXM last, so we're going to go in with the PSA Dagger first. I'm going to lock this slide back, and I did tell you they both take Glock magazines. We have a few Glock magazines here. We do have 10 rounds in each. Now this is a Glock 17 magazine, so that's why it hangs out just a little bit, like you see there. We do have a P15 magazine, which they're supposed to take P15 magazines as well, and I'll just show you what the flush, how it looks flush. Got it? All right. So up first, PSA Dagger. Missed that last one. Nice. Is it pistol is clear, magazine is empty? Is it what I remember? Yes, that 147 is a little bit more obnoxious or a little bit more spicier. But although it's 147, it's still we kept those shots on steel. All right, so we're going in with the RXM, and this is the P15 magazine that it comes with. Now this one has a little bit more of a flush look, as you can see, but this is the magazine that the RXM comes with, that P-Mag. All right. Ooh. Whoa, pistol is clear, magazine is empty. Now, all right, how did the recoil look? For me, the initial magazine for both, it almost felt like the recoil on the RXM was a little bit snappier. How did it look? All right, let's do it again. Let's go in with the Dagger. We're not going to do them so fast because I'm trying to figure out what it is, or, which one of the two is it that I enjoy the most. All right, so we're going in with the Dagger. Same deal. Feel it out just a little bit. Now that first shot was hot. Although I said the RXM had a little bit of a memory pad. Did that go in my hair? Like a landing zone for your thumb. This is the PSA Dagger. It does, but it's not textured, so it's a little bit smoother than the RXM. Meaning, not the shoot, but the pistol is clear, magazine is empty. All right, so I kind of take that back a little bit. I'm feeling it in my middle finger as far as the way that the trigger guard is cut out. Although it looks to be a lot more, how can I say, a lot more tapered, it does feel like it's hurting my my middle finger a little bit more. Now the grip on the RXM, I like a lot. Not just the texture, but the actual just feel of this this grip. Okay. The Ruger RXM. I need to make sure you guys know what it is that I am shooting. Y'all already know. I can tell you off rip. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. The trigger on the RXM is a lot nicer than the trigger on the Dagger. The actual feel of the pistol, the RXM has a nicer feel in the hand. The texture on the Dagger, as far as on the grip, has a nicer consistency to it, almost like that fine grit sand feeling. Very nice feeling in the hand. Slide dropped very well and easy. PSA Dagger. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. Okay. In all honesty, they both shoot very well. Very, very well. Finding a little bit of things to where if I can rob Peter to pay Paul, it would be great. But yeah, we're going to get to that in just a minute. We do have a few rounds left. Ruger RXM. Pistol is clear, magazine is empty. Now, I keep stressing about the grips on the RXM. I like the grips. Yes, I do. I like the texture of the Dagger. I like this super extended, almost like a magwell situation here on the Dagger. Now, the lip on it, as you can see, is a lot more flared. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? Is a lot more flared. So where my pinky sits, when I complete that grip, is a lot more nicer. So that goes back to me saying robbing Peter to pay Paul. That would be a great enhancement to this, just increasing that that lip on that grip just a little bit. The trigger, yes, on the RXM does feel a lot nicer. The sights on the RXM are a lot nicer. And yeah, okay, let's do it one more time. One more time. Let's go back. All right, so I got a P15 magazine for the Dagger so that you can kind of see the flush look that I was just explaining or just talking about. The other magazine was the Glock 17 magazines, so it had a little bit of hang off because it had 2 more rounds than this 15 round magazine. But yeah. PSA Dagger. Magazine is clear. No. Magazine is empty. Pistol is clear. All right, same thing. We got about 5 rounds left for our RXM. I think I can create the ultimate Glock clone based on what I have shot. Now, I have quite a few of them. Now, if you want to see all of my clones, we can definitely do that. But just based on what it is that I have shot, I feel like I can put together a great option. So, if anybody's listening, give me a call. All right, let's conclude. Let's talk about what it is that we have going on here. Now, as I was saying, if you're just now joining, we are comparing two of the Glock 19 clones that I have enjoyed very, very much. The PSA Dagger is one of them that I enjoyed a lot when they first came out. You're not tripping. I had to switch sides. The lighting was better on this side. All right, so there's a few things that I've noticed on the PSA Dagger that I wish it would have had, meaning off rip when they first introduced this pistol. It should have been optic ready. We should have had co-witnessing height sights, just a little bit more of a better trigger, a nicer magazine release, because I'm sure I'm not the only one that complains about those Glock magazine releases, because they are sharp. They did an excellent job with the actual grip, kind of mimicking or not kind of mimicking the Gen 3 as far as your finger indentation and all that stuff. Serrations are nice. But yes, it just feel like it could have been worked on just a little bit more. Now the price point is crazy, crazy, crazy low. So I guess trying to give you the best that they could have given you for the price point, I think they've done that. Now moving along to the Ruger RXM. Now the Ruger RXM is the collaboration between Magpul and Ruger. So you have a Ruger slide and you have a Magpul frame. Now this one straight out of the box, this one did come optic ready. It did come with co-witnessing height sights. It does come with a nice responsive trigger. We do have our extended functions, meaning your slide release is a little bit of more of an extension, as well as your magazine release. Your magazine release does not have those super sharp edges on here, so it's nice and tapered on the actual front side and the rear. They did attempt to give you just a little bit of a magwell situation, but had it been just a little bit more flared, it probably would have been perfect. Both of them have your one slot pick space, and it does have your faux gas pedals on here, which is something that I enjoy a lot when I am shooting. It just helps me become, or it just helps me shoot a lot better, regardless of what it is that I'm shooting. If I have somewhere to where I can really drive my thumb forward to help me get that pistol or control that muzzle rise, I'm all for it, and this does accomplish that for me. So all in all, just speaking about everything between the two and straight out of the box, and yes, the RXM does have a little bit higher price point, but I feel like if you're going to have to make any adjustments on what it is that you bought, you might as well just get it for, already set up. That's just my opinion. But if you're just looking for something to grab and go and say, okay, I am going to trust my life with this, this is not a bad option. I'm not sure if anybody else has had any issues with their, now my micro dagger, whoa, I had a lot of issues with that. But this PSA Dagger, I did not have any issues with this. This is actually the PSA Dagger Compact, as I said, which would be the Glock 19 clone. But all in all, I have to say that I am still choosing the Ruger Magpul collaboration over the Dagger. Now, if you want to see another comparison, let me know. We can definitely bring that out to the range, because thus far, this is my favorite Glock clone till thus far. If y'all can steer me in the direction now, if you're going to steer me into the direction of a Glock clone that you feel is better, make sure the price points are at least close enough to where they can break even. Now I know you can take me to all these Gucci Glocks and I'll, you know what I'm saying? So we need to make it fair. So if the price point is, in a very competitive state, I would definitely find one and do that comparison with this. But thus far, the RXM, for me, in my opinion, you're not only getting a good shoot, you're getting you're getting optic ready, you're getting your optic height sights, you're getting everything that you can possibly want with something for that price point. So with that being said, what did y'all think? How did y'all feel? What did you see? Let me know. Drop that in the comments. How did the recoil look for both? At first, I thought that the Dagger was less snappier, but as I kept shooting, I did find that the RXM kind of took over a little bit. I do know we were shooting 147 grain. Had it been 115, it probably would have been just a little bit un poquito más suave, porque ese sí estaba un poco fuerte. So with that being said, if you have not yet checked out www.yokegang.com, make sure that you do pick up a t-shirt or patch. Support the channel. Thank you for supporting the channel just by watching this video. And y'all know I love it when things work, but I love y'all for life.